Yeti. This isn't just a cooler, it's a $5 billion lifestyle empire. The question is simple: how did a company selling ice boxes, of all things, manage to build one of the strongest cult brands in America? From a tiny startup in Texas to a global phenomenon, this is the story of Yeti. And by the end, we'll reveal the secret that turned a simple cooler into a cultural icon. Texas, the early 1980s. Roy and Ryan Siders grew up in a family where the outdoors wasn't a weekend hobby. It was a way of life. Their father, Roger, built fishing rods and taught them the patience of casting lines under the Texas sun. But there was always a problem. The gear never kept up. Coolers cracked under pressure, lids snapped, and in the punishing heat, ice melted far too quickly. For most people, this was just an inconvenience. But for serious outdoorsmen, fishing guides, ranchers, hunters, it ruined the experience. The Siders brothers knew the frustration firsthand. They wanted a cooler that could handle real adventures, something rugged enough to survive years of abuse, and reliable enough to keep ice solid through days in the heat. They weren't looking to start a company. They were simply chasing a better tool. But in that frustration, a billion-dollar idea was quietly taking shape. In 2006, Roy and Ryan unveiled something that looked more like a tank than a cooler: the Yeti Tundra. It was built using a process called rotational molding, the same technique used to make whitewater kayaks. It meant thick, seamless walls that could handle almost anything. It was heavy, it was expensive, and it was practically indestructible. Tests showed it could keep ice for days. In fact, it was so tough, it passed official bear resistance certification, a cooler that could literally survive a grizzly attack. But then came the catch: the price. $300, sometimes more. In a world where most coolers cost $30 or $40, people thought it was a joke. But the brothers weren't chasing the average customer. They went after the guides, the professionals, the people who couldn't afford failure. And slowly, word began to spread. That price tag stopped looking ridiculous. It started looking like a badge of seriousness. Yeti wasn't a cooler for everyone. It was a cooler for people who lived outdoors. And that was exactly the point. Most companies, faced with skepticism, would lower their prices and chase the mainstream. Yeti went the opposite direction. Instead of flashy billboards or traditional ads, they invested in relationships. They handed coolers to hunting guides, rodeo stars, and professional fishermen, real people living the lifestyle every day. This built something money couldn't buy: credibility. Then came their masterstroke: storytelling. Yeti began producing short films, not about products, but about people. Ranchers, cowboys, fishermen, adventurers. They didn't sell features, they sold a feeling. The grit of the outdoors, the pride of hard work, the romance of tradition. And soon, the brand wasn't just keeping drinks cold, it was keeping a dream alive. The Rambler drinkware line pushed Yeti further. Suddenly, it wasn't just on fishing boats. It was in offices, on college campuses, at tailgates, and in coffee shops. Owning Yeti became a signal, a statement, a way of saying, I value quality, I live rugged, I don't settle for cheap. In less than a decade, Yeti went from niche tool to cultural symbol. By the mid-2000s, Yeti was everywhere. In 2018, the company went public with a valuation of nearly $2 billion. A few years later, that number more than doubled. And then copycats flooded the market, countless knockoffs. But Yeti held its ground because their customers weren't just buying plastic, they were buying belonging. Think about it. When someone walks into a meeting carrying a Yeti mug, it says something. It's subtle, but powerful. Durability, ruggedness, authenticity. It's the same psychology that makes a Harley-Davidson more than a motorcycle. Yeti had crossed over from cooler to culture. So what is the secret behind Yeti's success? It's not just the ice retention. It's not just the toughness. And it's not even the high price. The secret is this: Yeti never tried to be for everyone. They obsessed over a tiny niche, the hardcore outdoorsmen. They built for the people who demanded more and ignored everyone else. And in doing so, they created something magnetic. Because when a brand is so authentic, so rooted in its purpose, the rest of the world can't help but want in. That's why a $300 cooler became a billion-dollar brand. The secret of Yeti's success isn't in what it keeps cold. It's in what it keeps alive.